Hello, my name's Scott Davis. Welcome to New World Birth. This is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of October 25th of 2014 for one Ben, or reed, or corn in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar, with Mercury turning direct, Mars entering Capricorn, and the Taurus full moon. October 25th of 2014 is one Ben, or reed, or corn. It carries the themes of growth and sustenance, journeying in new directions, photosynthesis, protectors of the home and family, the world tree energy that connects heaven and earth, peace, harmony, and order, strength in being flexible, the crusader or champion, and sharing with others. And Quetzalcoatl, the god king feathered serpent, was prophesied to return in the year of one reed. Quetzalcoatl is credited for replacing human sacrifice with flowers, songs, and meditation. The reed connects light energy with earth energy in the integration of multidimensional existence. This Trisena is a time to be grateful for home and family and share your most precious home, your open and loving heart. And since this is there's a new Gregorian month during this Trisena, I thought I'd discuss the metaphysics of the upcoming month. November is the 11th month, and with the digits of 2014, when we add them together, we get 9. So we have a 9-month in numerology. Basic numerology reduces numbers between 1 through 9. So when we think of the arc, the 9 represents the time of completion. The numerology of January and February of 2015 repeat November and December of 2014, with January being a 9-month and February being a 1-month. So in December, when people are wrapping up the old Gregorian year, the numerology is about new beginnings. And in January, when folks are wanting to start something new, the numerology is about completing what has been begun. The new 9-month cycle actually begins in February of next year. As a 9-month, November 2014 is about tasks and projects that were initiated since March, and anything that no longer is needed is wrapped up and moved out of the way of the new cycle. This also brings the energy for what is begun must be completed. So this month is about tying up loose ends so we can clean our plate for something new, as events begin to give us hints about a new direction to take. At November and also January are about clearing out old people, places, and things to make room for their new counterparts, which will emerge in December, and then again in February of next year. The 9 is represented by the Hermit archetype in the Tarot cards, which is about completion, contemplation, and introspection. And this is the archetype of the wise lantern bearer, the way shower whose life experiences guide others through similar passages. This quote from Michael de Montaigne from Of Solitude represents the Hermit archetype. The finest thing in the world is knowing how to belong to oneself. So November represents completion, the numerological cycle to prepare us for a new beginning. So November, we're completing things, and then December would be representing a new beginning. So before I get into the daily energy of one Ben, or reed, or corn, on the 25th, all the planets appear to be moving forward from our vantage point here on Earth, with the exception of Mercury right here, which is actually at a standstill as it begins to turn direct on the 25th. And then we've got Chiron and Uranus and Neptune are all appear to be retrograde or in reverse motion from our perspective here on the Earth. Now remember, the themes of retrograde planets are review of the past, reevaluate, reminisce, and we can see these themes being played out. Mercury retrograde turned retrograde on the 4th, and it turns direct on the 25th. And typically retrograde cycles are times when you want to avoid signing legal papers or making any major purchases or even taking a new job. So I said in the past that if you can postpone those until after Mercury is moving direct, the terms are much clearer. But here on the 25th, I would just avoid maybe for a few more days after the 25th before doing any of those type of activities, because while Mercury is at a standstill, you can kind of see it from our perspective here on Earth, that when it's right on the edge of its orbit here, it doesn't look like it's moving clockwise or counterclockwise in the wheel. So usually I say just, take a couple of days after Mercury turns direct, allowing it to build some momentum before making any kind of major changes. Because then we're going to be much more clearer once Mercury is moving in forward motion. Chiron retrograde in Pisces about releasing stuck emotional energy so that we can return to the natural flow of life. Uranus in Aries has us is seeking to shake our very foundation through the unexpected rebellion of the individual. Retrograde Uranus in Aries will have people wanting to hurry the process of getting free, to push the river of revolution, whether it's personal or political. Being an outer planet, and this will also apply for Neptune, Uranus creates events that we respond to. The inner planets affect us personally as individuals, but the outer planets change the landscape, which affects us as a collective and also as individuals within humanity. And then Neptune, of course, is also changing the landscape, and it's in its own sign of Pisces, seeking transcendence through spiritual experiences. And this will be a time to use spiritual practices to keep us grounded as we expand our intuition and consciousness. So let's look at the daily energy for this Trecena. October 25th is, like we said, one Ben or reed or corn. It's in its unity experience through maintaining the home in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. And on this day, like I said, we've got Mercury turning direct at 17 degrees Libra, which will bring forward the information that brings a new sense of course correction and heading in the right direction. This is an important shift, with October being a numerological 8-month of accelerated events leading to the completion in November. As Mercury begins to move forward from this point, it crossed back in September 14th when we began to collect information regarding a major change that can be implemented as Mercury begins moving forward. The time period from when Mercury turned retrograde on October 4th until the 25th has given us events to further illustrate the changes being called for. It will take a few days for Mercury to build momentum, but the seeds of the course correction have been planted. Over the next few days, we'll experience new information that directs us towards new goals. Also on the 25th, the Sun is conjunct Venus. So from our perspective here on Earth, these two are at the same degree of Scorpio. And it happens to be the degree where Mercury originally turned retrograde for this cycle, which was 2 degrees of Scorpio. The Sun merging with Venus is wonderful for self-expression in relationships and a certain amount of assertiveness to gain the attention of those we love. It's a good time to socialize and to make new contacts, friends, and even possibly a new love interest. This is also favorable for financial activities because Venus rules money. So just avoid being extravagant or self-indulgent. The negative of this is people will think that they're the most fascinating, interesting person in the world, which others will interpret as being vain. Being a vain fool. This energetic is helpful in aligning our inner and outer environments as we can contemplate the course correction that we've become aware of through the Mercury retrograde process. I'm not going to be covering the daily lunar activities in these reports other than new moon and full moons. but the information is available if you go on the New World Birth Daily Facebook post and also on the blogger New World Birth blog. So you can go there and get the daily lunar activity. On the 26th, we have 2 Ish or Jaguar, duality experienced through enjoying nature. And at this point, Mars enters Capricorn. So moving into a new sign, which brings control and focus to the energy for physical activity. Fierce, magnetic, and commanding are descriptions of Capricorn Mars. This is the energy that is held in reserve until needed. Also has a quality of a quiet self-reliance. Mars rules sex, and it gives an earthy, passionate quality to encounters, but it also brings self-control to relationships. And then October 27th is 3 Men or Eagle. It's about taking action through seeing from a higher perspective, while Venus right here is in a trine to Neptune. So Venus in Scorpio is forming a 120-degree angle to Neptune in Pisces, which is an alignment of between planet octaves, Venus representing personal love and Neptune representing unconditional love. This is pleasant energy, although it might not be great for accomplishing any task. It has a strong tendency for daydreaming and fantasy. This is excellent for any type of creativity that must be conceived mentally prior to being brought into physical form. For the more highly evolved, this experience has great compassion and tenderness, as this transit induces selflessness and spiritual love. And then on the 28th, we have 4 Keeb or wisdom, stability through introspection, meditation, and forgiveness, as the sun, also in Scorpio, makes a 120-degree trine to Neptune in Pisces, which is more idealistic and understanding, a more spiritual level of reality. This increases our sensitivity to the more subtle aspects of the world around us. This alignment favors infusing romance, creativity, and spirituality. So you might want to engage in activities like improv dance or yoga vinyasa, like sun salutations or tai chi, or working on art, music, or any other kind of creative process under the influence of the sun trine Neptune. And then on October 29th, we have 5 Kaban or Earth, which is about empowerment through the gratitude for Mother Earth in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. The 30th is 6 Etsnab or Flint, being in the flow through being introspective. October 31st is 7 Kawak or Storm, reflection through recognizing the gifts in adversity in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. November 1st is 8 Ahau or Sun, balance through honoring the wisdom and memory of our ancestors. And at this point, we have Mercury, flying off here, in a sextile to Jupiter. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is forming a 60-degree angle between Jupiter and Mercury, which brings our attention to the larger issues of life. Many will find their minds wandering to thoughts about the future, as our hopes and wishes are more important under this influence. It's also good for thinking about the overall patterns of our lives. This is optimistic and brings a positive attitude. This is also good for business negotiations, contract discussions, and commercial transactions, as well as dealing with the law. Travel also benefits, so this would be also a good transit to start a trip or perhaps research some far-off place that you wish to visit. Religious and philosophical subjects are also more attractive for investigation at this time. Also on the 1st, Venus in Scorpio sextiles Pluto here in Capricorn. So this is a 60-degree angle, which brings an atmosphere of passion, intensity, expression with less filtering. Be careful not to say something that you'll regret later. Folks may seek the advice of older people, represented by Capricorn, regarding relationships and money, represented by Venus. Venus in harmony with Pluto combines love and death. So this could be a time when we hear from an ex-lover or have a desire to contact a partner from our past. This transit deepens our emotions and brings more focus on our friendships. It also intensifies our love relationships and can take sexual experiences to a whole new level. A new relationship begun under this influence will feel faded with the interaction of Venus and Pluto. Also on the 1st, we've got Mars here in a sextile to Neptune. So from our perspective here on Earth, this is another 60-degree angle. It brings a time when the ego takes a back seat to seeing the world with greater sensitivity. It brings a perspective when looking at friends and folks that we interact with greater compassion and a desire to help out. This is a great energy for activities like walking, meditation, yoga, or Tai Chi, or something that links the physical, Mars, with spiritual experiences, Neptune. November 2nd is 9 Imish, or crocodile, patience through nurturing new beginnings. And then the 10th is, not the 10th, the 3rd is 10 Eek, or wind, manifestation through communication with the sun in a sextile to Pluto. Again, another 60-degree angle between the sun and Pluto, which empowers us to make changes in our immediate environment and reform the aspects of our lives that have brought us unhappiness over time. Embrace the opportunities on the 3rd that can be used for the improvement of the general good. This is good energy for cleaning up situations that have become confused or disordered, such as cleaning out getting clear on a difficult personal situation, or even cleaning your house. This is also brings us deeper into our thoughts, with the feeling that superficial aspects are no longer adequate. Investigations should be thorough, leaving no stone unturned. Subjects such as psychology, the occult, yoga, and other transformative techniques are favored for study under this influence. Also on the 3rd, Venus trines Chiron, which brings healing energy for love relationships and social interactions. November 4th is 11 Akbal, or night, resolution through completing through contemplating the stars in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. The 5th is 12 Con, or seed, or lizard, understanding through planting new seeds and making new connections, while the sun trines Chiron, which illuminates our past wounds to allow healing with positive energy and a desire to work through issues that aroused during Mercury retrograde and the past eclipse season. And then November 6th is 13 Chan, or serpent, movement to the next stage through being flexible with the Taurus full moon opposing the sun and Venus in Scorpio, in harmony with Neptune and supported by Mars and Pluto. Full moons are times of tension, and this one is about balancing the sun in Scorpio's desire for spiritual and emotional transformation with the needs of a grounded material world, represented by the moon in Taurus. With this lunation sextile Neptune, it brings greater sensitivity to others' emotions, with possible psychic impressions for those who are more open. A trine to Mars brings energy for asserting ourselves in a positive manner and standing our ground if necessary. Supported by Pluto, brings out intense emotions and stimulating activity, which also favors sexual relationships. And opposed by Venus, brings pleasant energy for enjoying sensual experiences and rich food with a caution against overindulgence. So no matter what energies are affecting you during the one read Trecena, take some time to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature, watching a sunrise or a sunset, communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection, meditation, or being with somebody you love. Every single day we have is a blessing, no matter what the dramas are that beckon to distract us. We're all here just giving the performance of a lifetime on the world stage. Just take some time out to observe the play as well as act your part by remembering you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth, and the next segment of Care and Feeding of a New World Age will be on November 7th of 2014 for one Kimi or transformation with Mercury entering Scorpio, Neptune turning direct, Venus entering into Sagittarius. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and the Mayan Magics website. I encourage you to share this information as videos or as text as widely as you choose. And I'm going to be discussing the metaphysics and astrology transits of November 2014 and providing some short human design readings to the participants of the Earth Needs Rebels show on truthfrequencyradio.com on Tuesday, November 4th. As always, I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions or you wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings and wish to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks. So I've created 3 options with 3 levels of compensation. If you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me, as I'd love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to be able to either call me in Maine in the USA, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. And folks have asked me about my readings because they do combine human design and astrology. And how does that work? Well, quite simply, the human design reading, let's think about this as if we were talking about looking at a screenwriter or a playwriter. The human design reading I use as the character description. Human design describes who you are down to the most minute details. And then the astrology transits describe what scenes in the play or movie you're currently moving through and what's coming up and how long is it going to last and how long is it going to be impacting you. And then when it gets to what your lines are in all of these interactions, those are your strategy and authority coming from the human design portion of the reading. And so this combination, and I believe I'm the only one that does merges these systems in this way, I find just to be an amazingly accurate way of talking about who you are and what your experiences are. And to me, it gives a really holistic picture of what's going on in your world. So we're also accepting donations to help keep these reports freely available. And if you are in a position to make a donation, please feel free to contact me again at newworldbirth@yahoo.com or get a reading. Seriously, the reading is a great way to make a donation, continue to support New World Birth, and also get something really powerful for yourself. As always, I'm blessed that you've taken the time to connect with my passion for these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey during this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, in Lakesh. And really, I'm very, very grateful that you've taken the time to connect with all my passions for this. And hope to connect with you in the future, either on the radio show or in a reading, or certainly in a future video. So thanks for everything, everybody. All my best. Peace.